Welcome back to the shop. All right, today we are working on a 2017 BMW 750i L, I think. It's an M. It's got M badging all over it. I'm assuming it's an M car, M series. We in the last video we did a water pump and thermostat, belt and tensioner, and in this one we're going to be tackling the spark plugs. So if you're just wanting to do a routine maintenance of your vehicle, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take these clamps loose on both sides. We're going to take these covers off on both sides, and we're going to work on gaining access. I've already got, because I was already doing the water pump in the last video, I haven't put this back on. This cover is off. The engine cover is off, of course, which is it just pops off, this deal here. So, oops. I also have this air intake tube is out. I'll put this back in after we do the spark plugs. I don't know if I'm going to need to take it out on this side or not, so I'm going to wait. That's the fresh air ducts. Pipes fresh air in from the grill area to the air box. We're also going to put some Canon air filters in that he'd purchased. So we're putting new plugs in and some air filters. We're going to get started here. Okay, so I got this popped up. So basically you just take the 4 screws out of the lid. Just sitting like this. Take the 4 screws out. Unplug your sensors. Loosen your oxygen sensor cables, and this just snaps in down on these balls right here and here. So just pop it up, and then you got access to your coils. So we'll pull coils out one at a time, put a spark plug in. This one's, the first one is right there, which you can maneuver this stuff out of the way, or you can take it all out. I'm just going to swing it out of the way as I need to instead of taking it all the way out. And we're going to put new air filters in while we're in here. All those look brand new. We're going to put these K&Ns in because that's what he wants. All right. Okay, guys. I already did the back plug. And I'll show you how to get the coil off. So all you have to do is flip the lever up. And as you're flipping it up, straight up and down, vertical, it pushes the plug out, basically. All you got to do is give it a little wiggle, and the coil pack plug comes out. And the coil comes out nice and easy. Now, what I've learned quickly when I went to go take that first plug out is these things don't have a normal spark plug in them. Let me get one of these out. Well, I'll just show you the old one, the first one I took out. They have like a 12-point type. They don't have a hex. So a standard spark plug socket, or this is actually a 14 millimeter, won't fit. So I didn't have a deep well, thin wall, and a 3/8 that would fit in the hole. So I started panicking, ran around, went to the Home Depot, went to the Harbor Freight, just looking for a socket that would work. Nobody had anything. Didn't think, after I went to those 2 places, I went, duh, why don't I just go to the auto parts store? I bet they've got something. And O'Reilly's did. They had a 14 millimeter. It's got a magnet in it too, so you stick your spark plug in and it won't fall out, which, because it's deep recessed into the head. And like all data, when I looked up all data, it shows just a socket, and then use like a rubber hose, stick down in there to grab the plug to spin it out. But this works really well. At least it did on the first one, so we'll see how it goes on the rest of them. But I just thought I'd show you guys that if you're going to change plugs in one of these, and other Beamers may be that way too. I've never ran across this personally. I don't work on a lot of these cars, and when I had my shop, I had a couple of mechanics that worked for me that dealt with this stuff. I didn't deal with a whole lot of it personally. I did a lot more domestic stuff, hot rod type stuff. I worked on everything, don't get me wrong, but while I was owning my shop, after about the third year, had the shop open for 9 years to the public, and then 5 years, I think, for the last 5 years after I've been in business 16 years. So 5 of it I ran, or 4 of it maybe, I ran mobile diagnostics for collision centers, doing hard to fix problem cars, that broken wire and harnesses, suspension, pulling dashes, airbags, seat belts, things like that they didn't want to fool with. They would call us, we'd go out and do it. Anyway, so even when I was doing that stuff, I did a lot of BMW work, but I didn't, and a lot of cars, a lot of everything, but we weren't doing like tune-up stuff. So anyway, so that's how you can prepare for that if you are going to do a tune-up on one of these. Check out and see what kind of spark plug it takes, and make sure you've got the right socket before you dive into it, because then you don't have to take all this stuff apart and then go, crap, I don't have the right socket, and now I've got to go running all over town like I just did trying to find the right socket. So be prepared. Unlike me, I wasn't prepared, but I learned, and now hopefully you will learn from that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the rest of these plugs out on this side now that you know how to do that, and then I'll do the other side, and I'll show you if there's anything worth filming on the other side, and we'll move on. Okay, so the passenger side is straightforward. There's no tricks. It's just like the driver's side or left side. No problems whatsoever. Coils came out, no problem. Plugs came out, no problem. So that's not too bad of a job, really. It's a lot easier than the previous video where I did the water pump, which was not the end of the world job, but it's not fun. Just because how stuck everything was, really, and I was learning. I have the tendency to complain a little bit when I'm learning something new. That I really don't want to be doing, but it worked out. So we're gonna button all this stuff back up and get all this stuff here back together, and we're gonna go for a test drive in this thing. This is actually a beautiful car with a lot of technology wrapped up into it. I have heard through a little research that I was doing, just because I've never worked on this particular model before, as far as engine work, so I did a little research on it before I got going on the water pump deal, and so I have heard that some of these engines are prone to rod bearing problems, around 70,000-80,000, as low as that. And it's just kind of crazy to me that something as high end as this would have such high or such expensive engine problems at such low mileage. These BMWs, the older BMWs, were known for going, many miles without having any major engine problems. But I guess that's not the case with this 4.4 twin turbo. But so far so good on this one. Don't see any of those kind of issues. But if you have one of these, I would stay on top of your maintenance, especially your oil changes. Don't fool around with those. Make sure you got the right weight of oil and the right filters and the right amounts and all that stuff. I wouldn't go experimenting too much. You don't want to fool with putting an engine in one of these. I wouldn't, at least. They say, you can put rod bearings in them, but if you make one little tiny boo-boo, then you just grenaded a motor, and you know, you're gonna be in for about $10 to $15,000 bill most likely. All right. We'll button all this up, go for a drive. All right, well, we are done with the M5 or M7 or 750i LX drive, whatever this thing is. Beautiful car, actually. Drives awesome. It's fast. Just, man, the engineering on these things are crazy. But we got it done. So we've got a video out on this car on changing the water pump and thermostat, belt tensioner and belt. And this one on changing the spark plugs. Hope it helped you. Hope you liked it. Hope you'll give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down there in the corner. Check out my other videos. We've got plenty of content out there on automotive and cooking barbecue on that thing if you're into that. Four-wheelers, all kinds of stuff. Appreciate you watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.